Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? And you are very welcome to our 100th edition of live videos. I can't tell you how excited we all are to make this night a wee bit special, do a bit of reminiscing. Justin?
Yes, I think it's a night for due gravitas, Stephen, for a little bit of serious reflection. Yes,
on our humble way of providing information on knives and things like that. Yeah,
humbly is
yeah,
quite right. Mikey, what do you say?
Are you guys joking? We're celebrating the 100th show of the most epic YouTube channel the world has ever seen. There's more YouTube channels out there than anybody could ever watch in 500 lifetime, and this is the best.
Damn right, Mikey. Say it again.
Yeah. Get off my land.
Yeah. You're very welcome, everybody. We're so excited to be here, and I want to say a big thank you to Justin for our amazing intro. But if you think that's good, do not go away at the end of the program. There is an even better one at the end of the program. Please stay and watch it. This is its first showing, and it's amazing. And absolutely, Justin has just really come through, and me and Mikey are both very happy with it.
Once again, Elan gives us due cause to ban him, so he's getting kicked immediately. Stuart's in. We haven't done a roll call in a long
do
time.
A roll call.
We definitely will. We've got Peter Tiffany's in. We've got Slippy's in, of course.
Hang on a second. Peter Tiffany, I sent your stuff off this morning, so she'll be with you in the next day or two.
Excellent. We've got Tony Blade, the Blade in Wales is there. We've got the Hangry Dracalope. It sounds interesting, but that sounds like a new name to me, unless it's an old one under a new name.
I think I heard it last week.
We've got TK in. TK, as always, boss, you're very welcome.
Yes, thank you, sir.
More of that anon. Mrs. Naked Sean.
Ma'am,
you alone are bringing the quality of this place up tenfold.
If I'll just do a wee curtsy for you.
Put your trousers on first. No. We've got who the hell else? Everybody's been talking so much. Nobody's getting a chance to get in. I think we've got Spears in. We've got Kongi in, who will probably be making an appearance in the video later on.
Yes, Kongi, if you watch at the end, you make an appearance in that video.
Stuart McRae is in. Spiros is in, and we've got up 42 people already in.
Wow.
Blade, your Lord, our absolute unit, is in as well. We've got Mr. Steve 170, and well, that'll keep us going for a week.
But we've only got 13 likes.
And no, that's shocking. And we're 5 minutes in, nearly. That's shocking.
Hit the like button, lads. It really makes a difference to my wee channel. Don't forget, I'm not monetized, so they just do not give me anything.
They screw you in the drive-through.
Yeah.
That's not an anatomical reference. We've got Dave in Midnight Crisis. We've got Roland Brandt, and I think that is about. Nigel Loftus is in, of course. Very good to see you, Nigel. Norman Johnston, and just anybody else who's there. Martin Matthews, Elan, of course. We've already mentioned. Griff is in. And here we go now. Tim Titus, Sean there. I was wondering where Sean was.
Yeah.
He's basically taking his clothes off, probably, because that's his ritual for these shows.
Exactly, yes.
Covered in Bays is in. Lovely to see you, Bays. AMB is in. And I think these guys started turning up late because there's
Will Wilson, did you mention him?
We've got Will in. Thank you very much.
Burped in your face.
And that Lehman, Gadget Gus. Excellent to see you, mate. Beautiful.
47 people in
47 people. Let's see if we can
keep coming in because we could break a record tonight.
So 100th show, Stephen. What have we got? What joys have we got planned?
You know, I think we're just going to talk a bit about what it's been like, what the adventure has been like, and it has been an amazing adventure. I mean, I've had changes of personnel. We've had changes in, well, like personally for me in this last couple of years, I've changed from being the Jack Wolf rep in the UK. I handed that over to somebody else, although it hasn't been picked yet, but I handed the baton over, not because they were bad knives, because I still believe they're the best production knife out there, just that I needed a change. And it's like anything. I don't do the publicity for the benefits that you can get, like selling knives. That's nice when it happens, and when it went, I missed it. But that's
I don't. Well, I think. I mean, you gotta. I think we've got to remember that it was a great way to start the live shows, to have a top of the range production company
it was.
that was going to
Backing
us really, and we were showing our support for it, and it introduced a lot of people to slip joint knives, high quality slip joint knives that might never have come across it, and a lot of people have now got Jack Wolf knives that might have got it before, and it was just a phenomenal start. But I agree. I mean, it got to a point where it was starting to. We were wanting to do all this.
Yes, it was becoming repetitive, and
I don't think we were doing Ben any justice.
Exactly, and that's exactly what I told Ben. It wasn't a fallout or anything like that. It was if I can't give something my genuine, my all. I just don't want to do it because this is my hobby. Why would you want to do things that are not giving you? Once it becomes a chore, I'm gone.
But that was a great start for us in terms of, and it broke us into getting guests on a regular basis.
Yeah, because Ben was a great guest to have. He answered every question.
And then he introduced it to Donnie as well.
Yeah, I mean, there was lots of people we met through it. So I mean, yes, it was really interesting, really good. Moved on now. The only one I'm representing basically now is Rosecraft. And I have so much excitement for that.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about two different levels of knives, but yet my passion for either one is full and it's true. It's not put on.
No, absolutely.
You know, like Slippy's a shell.
Yeah,
I'm just a genuine nice fella.
But he is the shell.
He is a shell. There's no doubt about it. He has shell down to
he's an artist.
But to be fair to like Slippy, you was the first shill. You was the first. You've been shilling. You've been shilling for years.
I warned you about him from the start.
Turns on you.
Here's another thing.
Yes.
The last year, because talking about ringing the changes and the way that the live show is sort of developed, all of a sudden last year, this waste of skin creeps in, and all of a sudden the improvement goes through it improves. I mean, we get more viewers coming. I don't know if it's sex appeal or what, but with Mikey,
definitely not that.
Mikey, I think it's just he's brought something special.
I think it's more of a community thing. We brought somebody simple, can't fit into the normal community, and we brought him in and gave him an outing.
It was our community service.
Community service representative.
Don't you normally have to commit a crime to be forced to do that?
No, I don't mean I meant as in slightly dim.
Yeah. He's nice.
I was asked to come in as care in the community to look after you two old codgers.
I left the words to him, and he followed up beautifully. That's how much we've taught him.
Codgers.
What are your reflections? Very high level. Your overview reflections.
Because you came in when we were already established. So how did that feel coming in?
Scary at first. Very, very scary. It was not what I was expecting. It's not what I thought would happen. When you asked me, it was a 50% yes, a 50% no. I was like, I don't. What, me? YouTube? No. I can't do this. And then obviously, I mean, Stephen sweet talked me and bribed me with like loads and loads of knives. and I had to say yes, but it's been amazing. Like the journey so far has just. I mean, it's been so fast from one sharp show to the next.
Yeah.
Now we're in 2025, and it's just flown by, but it's been amazing. It's been an absolute whirlwind, and it's been so funny. So funny.
But hold on, say that again.
It's been funny, so funny.
Oh, geez, hasn't it? Haven't we laughed? We
have had so much fun. We're not like other shows out there, and there's nothing wrong with other shows. It's just we're not like them. We're forgetful. We get names wrong.
We're late.
I do most of that. Justin's always late. But I mean, we have fun, and this is the way we talk to each other when we're not on a video. Genuinely, the three of us we do a video call every week without fail, and we often meet up in between that, doing personal video calls between each other, and it's just amazing.
Yeah,
it's really stepped up.
Been a huge amount of fun.
Yeah. I think just from the just having a laugh with your friends side, that has been by far like the best thing. It just so happens along the way we've picked up some amazing knives, and we've let knives go, and we've sold and traded and swaps and stuff, and it's just but the crack has been so good, so good.
That is very true.
And I think the other thing is, for me, most people know who I am before they even started their lives. I'm pretty antisocial. Not that I don't like people, I don't mix well outside. I think it's because of my background and what has sort of happened in my life. I went into my shell for a lot of years, you know. After my son died, I just lost the will to sort of mix with the other people because I couldn't stand it. And meeting these two guys, and the likes of Dan was another one that really was influential, and me starting to trust people again and just enjoy other people's company. And I have changed. I've been to Sharp Show twice. I'm going camping. We have a wilderness area at the back of the garden, which
wilderness area. Yeah. That's polishing a turd well and true.
But yeah, we have. I've bonded with an awful lot of people. Like, you know, I hate to throw some. If I throw names out, I'm going to miss people. So I'm not going to throw names out. Those of you who know, I've texted. If I haven't texted you, I'm not friendly with you yet. So it's one of them things. Yet. And I'm open to it now, which I wasn't. And this show has done that, which for me and me alone is massive.
Oh yeah, I think it has been huge.
Massive.
It has been huge.
So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You've changed my.
Don't be going getting all emotional.
All right. No, let him do it. Let him do it. He's opening up as a person. He's growing as a lad. Come on.
But I'm in the same room with him, and it's making me feel uncomfortable.
That's why I'd rather him do it now than later on in March. So
fair enough.
Yeah. No, I'm not emotional. I'm actually really happy.
Yeah.
I haven't been happy for a lot of years. And
it's funny because I mean, each of us have our own particular issues, and my particular issue, which some of us may not be aware of, is that I am commitment phobic.
Yes.
Okay. As my wife is the only thing I've stuck to for any length of time, and so it is this kind of thing. I start hobbies and then move on to something else. So doing this show every week. I mean, you remember when we started doing the recording? Once I said once a month.
Yeah,
you know, and then maybe 6 weeks, once a month, or whatever, and then you kept on, can we do another one? Can we do another one? And you broke me, you wore me down. But we do this religiously every week now.
You're the only person. Sorry, we left the door open. Sally's listening to everything. The thing is that when we started doing this, we started really gingerly. I'd done it before, but I didn't have the enjoyment. That nothing to do with the people who were on the show. I didn't have the enjoyment until I got friends involved.
Yeah.
And that makes a huge difference. And honestly, my friendship group is amazing now compared to what it used to be. And I know an awful lot of nice people, which is
it makes it all the more fun when you've got friends there. When you're doing it on your own, you're kind of doing it for yourself. But when you're doing it with like friends and stuff, and you're meeting up and you're going on knife hunts and shark shows, and it's just it just makes all the difference.
It's true, but I think Slippy, as always, cuts to the core of the matter. Well, I'll show you that one again. Okay, he needs to see a knife. Now, Stephen's been going through his collection, Slippy, so show some respect. And he has been picking out some real showstoppers. I mean, this is one of his more recent ones.
Yeah, and this is probably the most important one as far as my internal self is. I mean, because it was totally unexpected. I had threatened to do all sorts if anybody sent me a birthday gift because I didn't want it, because I've got enough now. And then they sneakily went behind my back.
Can I just say, can I just let the people at home know that you gave me some raging threats about if we did anything for your birthday. The things you were threatening to do, you were going to lob a knife through the window, you was going to throw it in the sea, you was going to do all kinds of stuff. You was never going to talk to me again.
Yeah, I might still follow out with that one. Anyway,
show them the knife.
They sneakily went behind my back and they all arranged to put a couple of cups of tea in.
It was Orlando. Orlando made us do it.
Yeah, it was. Orlando was one of the biggest influences, and I really do appreciate the effort that he went to. But they bought me this They didn't know they were going to buy me this because they put cup of teas into my help donate Paddy's channel. There's always a little thing down in the description. They bought me this. This is a beautiful, forgot my name now. It's SMK.
Self-made knives.
Self-made knives, not Smoky Mountain Knife Works, but it's Matt at Self-Made Knives. Made this, and I got this with the money that they gave me for my birthday. And this knife means a huge amount. And apart from that, it's a bloody good knife. So thank you to everybody that was involved. And even if you weren't involved, for all the birthday wishes I got was amazing. So there's a knife, Slippy.
There's a knife, Slippy. So dry your eyes.
We got plenty here to run through.
Mikey, do you have a knife there that you'd like to share to keep people's interest going? Because I'm about to launch onto a retrospective.
Well, I picked up this. This was a slight confusion knife that will be explained at some point in the future. But this is now mine. This is an Arthurite clip point in the Eeky wood. I picked this up at the famous Sheffield shop last weekend. It's got superb fit and finish.
Can I just say that's polished Eeky wood?
Yeah.
Well, it's just how it came.
It's very shiny.
It's only buffed. They've probably buffed it when they've done like the bolts.
That's my Eeky wood, which is it looks completely different again. So
it's buffed, isn't it? Yeah.
I must actually check what they're going to do for the club knife. I never even thought to check that.
I picked this up at the weekend from the famous Sheffield shop. There's two more left in there, but yeah, just picked up another Arthur Wright because you can't have too many, can you, boys?
No, apparently not.
Well, you can't have too many, that's for sure.
Nor can Slippy, nor can almost everybody else. So anyway, Judd's retrospective. Pay attention. I shall repeat this only once. Praise be gods. So I was thinking about how this thing developed and all that, and I was thinking back how we got started. And Paddy and Pals as a podcast or as a wee show started, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago actually. But we recorded the show, I edited it, and then we did it as a long form release on YouTube. And then something happened. Stephen was experimenting with his Sunday night knife chats.
Yeah.
Which was the live YouTube format, and he was really struggling with it because every time he tried to do something, the quilt that was hanging from the back of his door kept on falling over his head and covering everything. But the main frustration was that he couldn't respond to anybody in the chat, so there was actually no interaction. It was just him talking. But then what happened, as I remember right, and some people can keep me right, is that RJ's Knives happened. Isn't that right? Because you started appearing on RJ's Knives.
Nearly every week.
Yeah, and that was sort of a breakthrough in terms of didn't he introduce you to StreamYard?
StreamYard, yes,
that's right.
StreamYard,
and it was just at that Christmas. You told me about StreamYard. We got into it and we tried it, and then it just came up.
Funny, I haven't remembered about that. But
took off after that. So I think we need to give credit where credit's due to RJ's Knives as the sort of seed for all of this for us anyway.
It moved us on to going into
definitely
live.
Did. And I mean, RJ's Knives, if anybody remembers, was a lesson in many ways. It was a lesson in how to get on the StreamYard and how to get guests on the show and how to engage in a conversation. But it was also a lesson for pretty much everybody to go, you got to keep this within a time frame, because RJ's Knives used to go on for 3 hours.
It was like
3
hour
marathon.
Sunday.
I mean, I've been waterboarded and wanted it to stop. You know, it didn't want it to stop.
It was great it was great for a time, but my family, it was Sunday's the visiting day normally, so that's where it I had the end. It was just my family couldn't come because I wasn't available.
But some of RJ's shows were absolutely fantastic, and I think they set the tone for an awful lot of it. And the Sunday slot, I mean, has been taken over by Slippy and TK now. So it's not just our show; it's other lives that have taken off.
Yes,
on the back of all
aggressively taken over, I might add, because they aggressively take over every podcast that just gets in their way. They just crush them. You bend to their will.
This is very, very true, Mikey, as the comments will say through. So that happened, and then Stephen and I had a whole bunch of fun just playing around with this format ourselves, and then we got Mikey involved, And now Mikey provided a great excuse because he had been fool enough to let Stephen talk him into starting his own channel, Baldy's Blades, but he got bored really, really early on with actually doing any content. So if you ever go and look at his channel, I think last I checked, there are 253 subscribers. There are now 252 because I unsubscribed because he's not giving me what I want.
It's really hard to talk to yourself, and there's no one there to like have a laugh with.
Yeah, but what you found was that the live gave you that input that did enough for the YouTube thing, and then you started appearing on everything but the flaming Titanic. For goodness sake, anybody who wants a guest, they just go, "Oh, just get Mikey. He'll go on anything."
I mean, maybe, kind of. I mean, but they do pay well.
Well, hang on, you get paid?
Yeah, yeah, monthly.
Of course.
But no, that's it's when you think back to what sort of changes there were, because we've had it with Dan in the beginning. Then
that's right.
His work life didn't let him, do that, and then we went by ourselves for a long time. It was just you and me, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. It wasn't that we were bored. It was just it's as if the channel tells you what it wants.
Yeah.
And it told us both about the same time, because when we mentioned it was, oh yeah, that sounds all right. Yeah, let's get him on. We can ditch him if we don't like him.
Haven't been able to get rid of him yet.
Mikey has come in as if he has been here from the beginning. I feel very comfortable in his company. And I don't often say these nice things, so he better take them.
Oh no, it's recorded now.
He has now become a really close friend. I've shared, more with you and Mikey than I have with anybody else, really.
Yeah, and it's been overshared.
Overshared,
overshared, especially with like some of those pictures.
I know. Don't get Elon started, because he'll start exchanging. There'll be a whole swap meet thing.
But it has. I mean, it really has become a show of friendship. And I couldn't change. I couldn't see it changing at the minute.
But let's talk about what have been high points then. So we agreed that we talk about 3 guests that we really enjoyed having, and we talked about 3 shows that actually hit a tone with us, or we remember with a particular fondness, I suppose the word is. Okay, so Mikey, we're going to go over to you. Who did you pick as your favorite guest?
My favorite guest. Right,
so you're not picked.
No, that was a really hard one, because we were going through like loads and loads of guests, weren't we? And to only pick 3 seems very hard. It's
just time.
Yeah, my favorite guest. I really enjoyed the conversation that you had with Xing Chan. Yeah, I thought that was such an engaging show, because it was just like a single maker that makes everything from like start to finish.
Yeah,
does it all.
It was like a behind the scenes of custom knife making, and it was just so good.
He was just so down to earth, and just and it was so honest about his processes, and when he said, "Oh yeah, I love to work with Magna Cut. It's a really good steel to work with." I was like, wow, because there was quite a few people up until then that were saying, "Oh, all these are super steels and that, they're a bit hard to work and that," and he was like, "No, it's fine. It's great." That was pretty good. So yeah, I trying to pick just one.
I mean, you go take Xing then, because apparently Stephen's just told me that, and I've seen the photographs that Xing is particularly on your mind of late.
When you say on my mind, do you mean?
Well, in your hand, I should say. No,
how did you know? How did you know what's been in my hand?
Yeah, you haven't found the hidden camera then.
Not yet, I haven't. No.
The boys are over.
Yeah, I think when I first came onto the channel, I really wasn't thinking about custom knives. There were so many nice production knives, and customs were just a bit above.
Have you got a shing there we could look at?
He's leading into it. He's leading into it.
He's just steamed straight in there, hasn't he? Like a ball in a china shop. Everything's gone flying there. I don't know what's going on. China's on the floor.
I could see what you were doing,
look,
Mikey.
Don't worry, we can edit that, Mikey. Go ahead.
I've lost where I am there. Would anyone like to see a shing?
Oh,
On the other side.
Hang on a second.
Show side,
Assume
please.
the position.
Hang on. Slow him down. Just slow him down. So this.
Let me blow it up, Mikey.
Blow me up.
Bishop. Oh,
Look at that federal shield as well.
That is sweet.
Hand rub satin finish on the blade. Oh.
Yeah. Is it a 52-100 blade as well?
52-100, micarta polished. Oh. That is a sodbuster. He mightn't call it a sodbuster, but it is to me. But it's got what liners has it got in it?
Brass liners.
Brass liners. Mikey always says he doesn't like customs because they don't do brass liners. They do if you ask them.
I mean, I remember you said that you'd send that over to Mikey and give him the option of it. But to be honest, I took one look at that and went, he's not going to say no to that. And
you both knew, didn't you? You both knew.
Mikey was all, oh no, but I could get one Magna Cut, I could get one with bone handles and all this, and then he sees this. Do it again. Sorry,
lovely half stop, lovely lock up.
Oh, it's lovely. Oh,
yeah. Bird's eye pivot as well, which is really nice.
Fantastic.
That's what a bird's eye pivot should look like: the silver on the inside, and then the
brass on the outside.
That's what the original bird's eye pivots were.
Yeah, this is this is amazing. It's centered perfectly. What would you say the pull is on this?
I think about a
7.
Yeah,
7. Yeah,
7.5 maybe even.
A 7. So it's got a lovely sharpening shoal, which I do like because it makes the sharpening a whole lot easier. Because I'm not a fan of like smiles, but it's just exquisite. It feels amazing.
Oh, it is gorgeous.
So well made.
Yeah.
And Mark MBEDC is 100% right. Shing is some of the best knives, but his naming convention leaves a lot to be desired. It really does. That's a good start, Mikey. Thank you very much. Stephen, best guest.
Best guest. Well, this is not going to surprise absolutely nobody. I'm going to pick Michael from Arthur Wright and Sons. Michael Harrison, who is the owner, CEO, and his son Ashley is the head cutler, the shop manager or whatever, and also a custom maker on the side, and Beth. And I'm going to hit all three of them because Beth's the apprentice, and the three of them run Arthur Wright's completely. Nobody else, just three of them. And then Ashley makes custom knives on the side. And I don't know how many knives they make in a year just for Arthur Wright, but then what Ashley makes on his own, they are the epitome of British hard work gets you where you want to get to. They just work really hard for not a whole lot of money because it's not a business making Sheffield knives in the old-fashioned way, old-fashioned steels. You know, they haven't lifted it because they want to keep that sort of the grit and everything about it. It's just the workshops that they work in are still in the 50s and 60s. Do you know what I mean?
1850s and 60s.
Yeah.
They're just British workmen, and I just appreciate that so much. And damn it, they're the nicest people you'll ever meet as well. They're just so nice. As a family, Michael and his father, they're not the same. They're different.
Ashley and his father.
Ashley and his father, Michael. Yeah, sorry, Ashley. But Michael does look very young. You know, to have such a big lump like that.
I think he's probably younger than me, which is disgusting, really.
Yeah, he is. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed him as a guest because he broke down what it was like, not only to make knives, not only where they make them, how they make them, and how difficult it is in this day and age.
Yeah,
an old-fashioned product made in the old-fashioned way, because young kids just predominantly want a new shiny, new blade steel. These are working knives, working knives made in the old
That's what I would say, and this is in a good way, not meant in like any kind of negative way, but it kind of broke down all the. We had all these thoughts and ideas of how wonderful it is to be a knife maker and stuff, and he really broke it down for us. And it's a hard job, hard work, and you know, and there's no sort of love for it generally, and yet it's our like passion now, which is like you know, and it's a really hard job to do nowadays. There's not a lot of people that like want to learn the skills. I mean, so Beth doing that a apprenticeship for like so many years now is amazing.
I just give her so much kudos for that. That alone, and I think that's why for years. I mean, I have been plodding these knives for such a long time now, and before it was popular to do so. You know, Slick Slicers was somebody else when I came around. He was the person that set me off on this British. So it's nothing's new in knives. It's never your idea. It's always somebody. And Slick Slicers was the single most important person in me starting to collect traditional knives and custom British knives. And he put me in contact with Ashley. It took years, you know, it didn't happen over because I'd wanted an Ashley for donkeys and you just couldn't get one. And now the chances are getting less and less because he's so busy making, which is wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
Did he have 3 or 4 customs out on Instagram today? The Lambfoot ones?
Yeah, was it yesterday or today?
That was yesterday. I think there was 4 of them. Yeah,
they were fantastic.
But they never last longer than a few minutes, and they're all gone. But I mean, for me, Michael, because he was the last one of the 3 that I actually interviewed. So to get the main man last was because he just gave the overall, because he's the one that does the paperwork, they order the materials.
So it completes it completes the set, Stephen.
It does. We got a hat trick of very interesting interviews.
But here's the irony, and I'm not even sure if it's ironic. It probably isn't. It's sort of an Alanis Morissette thing. Never worry. We have never actually had Ashley on alive.
We just found that out.
So Ashley, if you're out there, you need to get your ass in here.
Yeah, because the last time he had to go away and do something, he was supposed to be on with Michael.
That's right.
And Michael came on his own, which was brilliant.
We interviewed Ashley on a recording, and we kept on referring back to that one, which was amazing.
It was a great, go right back to the very beginning.
Ashley was meant to be on the live with Michael, if you remember, but he had something else that he had to go and do.
Yeah, that's right. But I mean, yes, we'll have Ashley on this year, without a doubt. He'll come on at some stage. And we'll probably have Beth on again because she was so interesting. And it's lovely to see the growth and hear the growth. Maybe we should write to, you know,
MB, wash your mouth out with soap and water and get out of this.
Yes, Mark. Penfold, shush.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
No, it's I just, you know, I'm just 100% behind them, and I've never been affiliated by them. I've never been given free. I've been given one free knife. Michael gave me a free knife, but I've always paid for it. Now, after a while, Ashley started giving me a little bit of discount, and Michael has offered a little bit of discount on knives that we buy. So, I mean, it's amazing that, you know, you talk about being a shill and things like that. This for me has been a passion, and not let's make something out of it. Let's do something out of it. I mean, I've given as many Ashley knives away because, you know, I'm getting them at a reasonable price, and I love getting a knife to somebody new who's a knife lover and gets an Ashley in their hand, because to me it's a gift worth giving. You know, it is absolutely gift worth receiving, because I mean it really is a joy. So Michael just finished off that set of 3 people.
And I think as my guest of the season was definitely Beth, that you stole.
Sorry.
But I mean, I think it tops and tails it nicely, because she was just a breath of fresh.
She was lovely.
She was. I don't know. She was just lovely.
She was a nice human being,
and she talked so well. And I mean, I know she was nervous coming on, and she was as a representative of the company as an apprentice,
because we did. She was just
her a lot. She was just. Oh, of course we did. But I mean, she was game for it. She was brilliant. And do you have Beth's knife handy there?
Yeah, got Beth's knife in here. What should we? There.
But I mean, and I think we've had comments, and I mean, splitting slices was, or Baron was saying as well that he thought Beth was a fantastic guest, even just as a representative of the cutlery industry in Sheffield. You know, it was that kind of new blood, but still bringing on the old ways.
And it was because, like you said, she was such a gentle soul. She was very easy to talk to, very educated. And she's university educated. And then to put that aside, where she could have got a lovely desk job, to work for 5 years in the slum. But I mean, it really is a hard working man, and to do that, never mind being a woman, for anybody to do that in the modern age, there's not many people out there that have got that stickability that, you know, the old workers used to get the apprenticeship finished, then you start. You know, it's just amazing. So this is one of very few knives you're going to see with Beth's name. She's not started sort of making properly yet. She's got a lovely there's Beth. It just says Beth on there if you can't see it. There you go. I was very fortunate Beth made this for me. This is her favorite pattern, not mine, but because it was hers, I wanted a knife that was her favorite. This will be in my collection forever. Do you know what I mean?
Right, just before we clean this one off, I've got to that one's going to come back to haunt me. I know. I've got to give some honourable mentions out there. And
absolutely. So
top of the list, of course, Mikey, has to be our favourite French.
Orlando Swoon, our man in France, behind enemy lines.
But he is the one who has been guilty as charged for organising the most shameless birthday fest going on for 12 to 14 months. And Alan, hat off to you. Well done for keeping that one going. You absolutely hit it out of the ballpark. And yes, the short sharp story with you was almost as good as the one we did with Covered in Bees. But it's just, I think her makeup was applied better than yours was.
Yeah.
So
dress code was better. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And Orlando kept on insisting on speaking in French. It was. I had to drag up all kinds of stuff from it.
I just didn't understand him.
Well,
I thought he was French, still do.
No, well, he's Welsh.
I think that was just like the names of the French makers are so long that when he's that when he says it, like the names, that you think that he's actually talking French.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That was it, pretty much. Yeah. It could have been a whole sentence, but it was just somebody's name.
It was just like one like maker.
Yeah. This is one of the things that we find really difficult about today is who do you name? Because I haven't not enjoyed a guest.
I know, and that's the trouble.
Guests are a little bit of lifeblood that comes in. It's different than what you normally see or hear. And I know we don't do a lot of repeats, well, except for the management.
Well, yes, but we'll talk more about them.
Slippy and Thrifty. Sorry, you've got to do that, or they'll get laid off.
Yes, I know.
If anybody doesn't know, they had
they now have an 80% share in the company.
Slippy bought me out in cups of coffee, and I had to give away the business to him. So that was it. So thank you, Slippy.
You were easily brought out though, wasn't you? It was like 12 pence.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm like a turtle. Once you roll me on my back, I'm effed.
Yeah, that's it. That was it. And yes, Slippy, we'd forgotten about that one. You had only just started, and we got you on the show. That's right.
Yeah, it was. I get so. It disappears.
100 shows, Stephen. 100
Time
shows.
Disappears. Oh, so quickly.
But anyway, enough of this nonsense. That's my retrospective. That gets us going started in terms of celebrating 100 shows. To break it up a wee bit, what we've got now is... Almost.
We are so good. We're not going to top that now.
It would have helped if I actually told you that I was going to do that, but there you go.
Yeah. I could tell from that wee glint in your eye.
You can get all your high flying stuff, but a bit of grit, a bit of body just fills it out.
This is very true. Now we've got two pieces of knife news, and the first piece of knife news, because the second piece of knife news I'm going to hand over to Mikey for. First piece of knife news is an update, as we promised, on the PPP Club knife. Okay,
which is the very sad. It's the
Tackler?
Yeah, I knew it was a tackler. It was coming. It was at the back of the throat. The tackler, made by Arthur Wrights. This is the model, but you're going to have green liners beside the brass, green liners, and it's going to have a PPP stamp, which we have. It's in the process of getting made. So these are going to be available at the end of March, first week in April, roughly. So, but what we're doing is we're going to open the orders up tonight. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll let you go on there because I just take over.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go. Okay, so what we will be doing, we will not be asking for payment initially. What we want you to do is email your orders. So send us an email at this email address for a knife or knives, as you say, these are the details that I want in the email as a minimum. Okay, email address is there, paddyspotatopeelers@gmail.com. In the subject line, so that I can find it, is I need to see PPP Club Knife. Okay, put your name in the body of the message and your postal address in the body of the message as well. That means that at least we've got it. What we'll probably end up doing is setting up a contacts list so that we can correspond and keep you up to date with the progress and whatever else. We also need I want you to put your email in the body of the email of the communication itself. I know your email will be on the message that you send us, but you may not be using the email address that you want us to correspond you with. But also we need an email address to put tracking onto any packages that we're going to be sending to you, so that you get updates. Okay, so those details are what we want. Also include the number of knives. Now, and on that more and on. So, on receipt of the order, we will respond with payment details. With one caveat, we will not be responding immediately. We're going to wait until we gauge how many orders are going to be out there. Now, this is twofold. First of all, we've got a limited run of these knives. If for some mad reason we get so much demand that it's going to go past the limited run very, very quickly, we're going to have to, we don't want anybody sending us money for a knife that they may not get. Yeah. This is going to work on a first come, first served basis. So if you're in and ordered, you will get a knife up to the number of the order. Okay. We have a certain amount of wiggle room in terms of an additional set of knives, but there is a limit on the number of knives that we will be able to do with this run. That brings us to the second point about the number of knives. Okay, you can order multiple knives. Don't go overboard. Okay, think of the other people in the community. Yes, by all means. I know Dave. We were talking to Dave. He was saying about ordering 2 or 3 for relatives and things like that. Put in the number that you want. But what we will say is that if we're getting a lot of orders and the multiple orders are getting out of hand, we may need to say, you can have 2 out of the 5 that you've ordered. Yeah. You will get at least 1 if you're in the first tranche that meets.
You're guaranteed to get at least 1.
Don't mention the word guaranteed.
No, we've had this conversation.
Well, let me be absolutely clear with this process, okay? There are no guarantees. The only guarantee that you will get is you will get your money back if you pay it. For some reason, Arthur Wrights burns down overnight. God forbid, and touch wood. But that I never guarantee anything, especially in these kind of where money's concerned. So bear that in mind, folks. Okay, these are the general things. We reserve the right to change any and all conditions, and also to leave the country and move to Switzerland with any proceedings, proceeds we make from it.
Look, lads, we're not doing this as a business. We want to keep this. Yeah, it's going to get a bit of time because we're going to be posting every one of these. So we're charging a fair price. And we're charging a price that you would buy them in any other shop. And that's the best we can do. We've also had to buy stamps. I mean, a metal stamp that will be going to Ashley's workshop. And it will be properly stamped. Every knife will be properly stamped with our stamp and not an Arthur Wright stamp, which is just fantastic. It's our knife. It's a club knife. So the price will be £40 plus postage. Yeah. In the UK, that's going to work out for a tracked one about
£3.70, wasn't it?
£3.70, say £4 just for want of a number. So it'll be £44 in total. But we will send you that total once we find out the exact price we're going to use and what it costs. If you're not in the UK, we will find out how much it will be to cost to send to America. And when you're given your bill, that price will be on it. These are not negotiable prices. The price we're going to be doing is the most basic but yet safest way to send it.
Okay. Enough said. Enough said. Right. We've gone right. over this and over this and over this. We're getting to the point where we want orders. Get your orders in. We've already got some orders in. Thank you very much, folks, for getting them in. Elan, what makes you think that Paddy has ever been in charge of anything? No.
I'm the ideas man. Yeah, they're the doers.
So, has everybody got the details? Can I remove this now and pass it on to our next piece of knife news, which is breaking news from the world of Mikey? There we go. I'll put that up again towards the end.
That's exciting, that, isn't it? That really is, because now people can like get their orders in, and then come a week or two, we've probably sold like 3. It's going to be great. I'll have bought 2 of those. Yeah, knife news. So there's been a little bit of to and fro in between us 3 of them 2 wanting to know how many knives I own. There's been a little bit of pressure on it, you know, but the count is in. The count is in, and we have a total of knives that Mikey owns.
Can I break the tension?
Yeah.
No, don't tell him the number.
No, I'm not going to. No, not stupid.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Have we any evidence?
No, it's just I just wanted one thing to step in. You made me bloody forget it, man.
Brilliant. As soon as you interrupt him, he's gone. So yeah. So we there was lots of guessing, and I was about 100 over what I thought I had. Stephen probably thought I had a few more than I've actually got. And does anyone care to have a guess in the comments?
Put a guess in the comments.
Put a guess in like the comments.
While you're putting your guesses in the comments, Paddy will hopefully get Stephen will hopefully get that thought back, because now I feel bad for distracting him.
I've forgotten.
What was he saying, Mikey?
I can't remember. It was something about the orders.
No, it was about
No, it was about the orders. I wanted to. You thought I was going to talk about I was going to talk about the orders because there was something we had forgotten to say.
We'll come back to it.
Yeah,
we'll come back to it.
There was something that you forgot to say about the PPP knife. We're having some. Kirk's had a good guess.
Okay, here we go. So we've got.
They are going quite high.
We
I must say.
Base has got 7 million. That's we've got 897, 700, 654 from Slips Joint Sawyer, 565 from Elan.
I don't think anyone's going to get it, are they?
650, 669.
There's some close ones, but no one's going to get the number.
Non-C's 902. This is a very cryptic one. 777.
Very good.
Okay, for some, of course, somebody had to say it. You should be ashamed of yourself. We call it pocket knives. Griff is saying 1.2K. You wish.
So if Blue Collar had put a 6 in front of his guess, he would have been right.
I'll be damned.
669 was
Blade
the final count.
Blade Lord had it.
Blade Lord got it. Chris got it. 669.
Well done, Blade Lord. You have won yourself absolutely nothing. But congratulations on the achievement.
Yeah, thank you very much for taking part of.
Mikey, 669. Come
on.
And growing. Does that
no, because I'm going to call it the big purge or the cull. It has started. I posted off some knives, not yesterday, the day before, because I have sold a few, and I believe Nigel Loftus, who's in the chat, he's picked up one as well. We peaked at 669, but that doesn't include any knives that are waiting for me in another continent.
Roughly how many would you have waiting for you in another continent, Mikey?
1 or 2 maximum, really.
Yeah, give us a rougher guess.
It's 3, maybe 4.
Yeah, keep going.
Otters and some case and some buck I mean, there's a few. I don't know.
There's 20 odd, isn't there?
I have no idea. No one knows. Numbers,
Well,
numbers are just numbers, aren't they? At like this point, they don't mean anything. They're just out there in the ether somewhere, you know.
But I had somewhere around that figure as well at one stage. And it's nice that we were talking about it before, about you have now started to think about, let's sort of weed out the stuff that I'm not using. Let's get it out there. Let somebody else have a life with it. And that's lovely to see you starting to get into that, because we all magpies in the beginning, you just want quantity sometimes rather than knives you're going to use and keep.
Yeah, that's right. But I mean, I think it's fairly safe to say that you're going to be hitting 700 by the time you're coming back from Texas.
No, because I've got time between now and Texas to shed a few, haven't I?
Well, somebody mentioned earlier on that it's time for a Mikey sale in Discord.
Somebody started a terrible rumor about that last night whilst I was doing something else, and then I jumped on like Discord, and it was all going crazy. They were all waiting for like a sale. I was, what the hell is going on?
Slippy started a terrible thing. He really has with these. Apparently, there's a sale after this, for crying out loud. But the other thing is that there is a certain amount of worry in the chat about our own and very much beloved Welsh blade Tony, because if you start selling knives, he's going to go brank. He may have to sell a shed or two to cover the cost.
He has got a bit of a problem, but we did work out that his sheds are full of cash, so he might be okay.
They'll soon be full of knives. That's the trouble. Any more news?
I haven't really got any news this week. I really have. Well, I'll tell you what I have found. I have found a place that does military ration packs at an amazing price.
There you go.
I ordered. I haven't even told Mikey this. I'd ordered this off a place that was on Instagram. And to be honest with you, I'm not very good with the technical stuff. And it was about 2 weeks before I heard anything after I'd paid for them. And I thought, I'd been Instagrammed. I'm not going to get it. And then about 2 weeks later, because I'd forgotten the name of the company that I ordered it from, because I never write things down, because I forget. This is my life. So day before yesterday, said the package is on the way to you. And today it arrived. And I ordered lots of things. If you're ex-military, all-day breakfast. The best meal that the military make in pouches. You just heat in the bag. So I managed to get 8 pouches that came and delivered for under £20. And that's pasta meals, everything. £2 a pouch that we're going for. And they're still in date, which is amazing. So anybody wants that, let me know.
Yeah, Elan, I'm with you. And he's invited me for breakfast one day. So, I mean...
That's knife news, and we've gone to ration packs. We've gone to 48-hour rack packs and stuff. It's...
Is this Paddy and Pals, or have we changed?
Well, I mean, let's tell you what. Let's end knife news there before we start talking about power banks again, because that all goes wrong.
Oh,
well done.
That was very good.
And now for power bank news.
No, 2 power bank news. So, second part of the show, we'll be coming back again to remind you of that. And by the way, just to remind you, just to give everybody a count, we've already got 17 orders in, Mikey.
Thank you so much, boys. I really had no idea what this was going to be like.
And girls.
Sorry,
ladies and gentlemen.
Girls. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. I have to remember to say that.
And to answer pens and pen blades, get your order in, and we'll talk about shipping.
Yeah,
we will ship it to America, but it'll be at your cost.
We've had a question though from Don. Will we be shipping to Canada?
Yeah,
I don't see why not.
As long as you pay for it, you take responsibility. Once it leaves the UK, it's you're responsible.
What's Canada like to ship knives to? I've not heard good things about it.
I think slip joints are absolutely fine.
Right.
We'll double check, but I mean, it's better to check at your end, the Canadian end, to see if it'll actually get through rather than us. Because I mean, we can send it; it'll go from here, but whether or not you'll get it, that's another question.
Yeah, and if you want it sent in any particular way that you know is more reliable than the other, let us know. We'll do that. But whatever the cost is yours. but we're not leaving anybody out. Anybody can get their name down and get a knife.
Well, we will be leaving people out if
No,
we
but
get
I mean,
more orders than we have
I meant as in no place in the world that will send to.
That's very true.
We'll send
I
it
see
anywhere.
where you're
Thank
going
you.
with that. There you go. Very nice. Anyway, on to the next part of this. And the next part of this was I asked the guys to pick a favorite show. Okay. So I'm going to go first with this one because Mikey's already mentioned and it comes on the back of his count because my absolute favorite show that we did was where is it? It's here. So if I show this, was the Nightmare series. I mean, it wasn't even one show; it was a series of shows.
Absolutely amazing.
I loved doing that, and shall I tell you why I loved doing it? It was because of the torture that I managed to put Mikey through for that whole.
No.
Now, Stephen managed to deal with it better. Stephen managed to deal with it better. Maybe he's got more years under him. Maybe it was a case of he's been moving knives in and out for a longer period of time. But you have to remember that when Mikey faced this challenge, it was with the mindset of an obsessive hoarder. Okay? I mean, you should have seen his house. I mean, there wasn't any room. You couldn't see the guitars because there were piles of boxes of knives in front of all those lovely guitars that you can now see. But thanks to the exercise of the Nightmare, Mikey got on board with the whole idea of cycling knives in and out. And honestly, I joke about the torture side of things. It was a wonderful thing to see because it opened up a whole new avenue of Mikey for Mikey to explore.
It makes you look at all your knives.
It really did, didn't it, Mikey? I mean, it really did.
It really did. It makes you think about the ones that you really, really want and the ones that you can let go.
Yeah, it's live without because you don't buy a knife because it's bad. You buy a knife because you like it. So when somebody asks you what's your favorite knife, it's the most awkward question you can ever ask a knife person. But it's like I keep saying to people, when you get a challenge like that, just pick the one you like in your pocket today because they've all got, they're all knives that you like.
And it did change because when we made our list, you two changed your list more than I did.
Yes,
absolutely.
That's right.
I had a hell of a time.
That is true.
Elan, that's just a stupid comment, and you will be blocked.
He keeps on coming out with classics, though. You gotta give him that.
Yeah.
But it was I love that show because it was. I think it made us all think. I know I joke about it making you think, Mikey, but it definitely made me think about my collecting.
It was interesting watching what you two put down.
Yeah.
Really interesting what you two put down. I think it was one of those things that it was a show, it was a challenge, but it actually brought us into the picture. It actually showed what it was like, how hard it was to pick.
Yeah.
A top 20, whatever it was 12 knives on it. I mean, that was just an absolute nightmare.
That 12 knives, when we go to revisit it later on in the year, that's going to have changed for all of us drastically, I think.
A lot.
Yeah, I think so. I
mean, there's at least two of your knives that you don't even have now.
The two of them I didn't have the next bloody week.
I know.
Me, at the moment, that's my.
And remember what the challenge was, guys, was for those of you who missed it, and by all means, go back and have a look at the series. What it was, you have to reduce your collection to 12 knives that you will keep 12 keepers for life. That's it. And you had a money problem or something. You had to sell all your knives, but you were only allowed to keep 12. And all of us had to choose the 12 that we would keep.
It was if you haven't done it and you've got a fair few knives in your collection, even if you've only got 50 in your collection, try taking it down to 12. That if you become against money worries in the family, so you've also got to think about, will I keep a really expensive one where I could keep one that's just a good but not as pricey?
Yep.
It give you. There was so many different. If you just read,
we all looked at it completely differently, though. Yeah, we all looked at it completely differently. I was looking for knives that I probably wouldn't get again.
Yeah,
that was my kind of view on it, and then you were all like looking at it from like different angles. So that was really cool. That was really cool
because all of us came out of it with a different headset. Because you came out of it with a headset where you realized that you weren't so attached to all of your knives that you couldn't move them on and start using them for trades and stuff like that. Stephen came up with well, actually, there's nothing that's not fair game, pretty much, but there are some that are there.
Yeah.
And my headset coming out of it was, I realized that I could survive perfectly well on 12 knives. So Elan, yes, I could very easily go join your club. Just the 20 knives side of it, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not doing the dressing up, thanks very much. I don't.
Do you know what? I think I could do it. I think I could get down to like 20, but it would be painful.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I just couldn't. Sorry.
Well, I mean, but your requirement is slightly different because you've got the channel and everything. But
yeah. But even
once you
taking the channel out of the way,
yeah,
I don't think I couldn't live with just 20 knives.
Yeah. See, I could.
I'd
live with those and it wouldn't
I'd have 20 black ones, 20 red ones, 20 blue ones, 20 green ones, 20 silver ones, 20 titanium ones, 20 micarta, 20 wood. See? Got it stuffed.
Now there is the ultimate challenge from TK. Now for your entire life, can't sell, gift, or trade it.
You see, I could do that now.
I think I could. I think I could.
That's it's 20 where I realistically am gonna keep them.
Yeah.
That's because I do trade knives a lot. And even if it's a knife I love, if there's another knife that I need to trade that to make up the money to get that, it'll go. You know.
Yeah. And there's Slippy trying to get down to 300. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work and keep the best ones for me tonight, okay? And pens and pen blades, by all means. We haven't copyrighted the Knife Mayor Challenge or anything like that. By all means, go ahead. Ghost Malone tried it himself. We had him on the show to do it. So by all means, go ahead, try it. It's a fantastic exercise.
We'll probably do something similar next year or this year.
We'll change the goalposts.
We'll change the goalposts, but we're going to think of a really difficult question to ask you to do with your knife collection. And we'll do that this year because that was torturous, but it was really interesting.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? Because it really does get you thinking. Because when you're buying a knife and then you get another one, then you trade one and you get one and you get one, you don't think about only having 20 or 12 or what, you know. It's just because the number just keeps like getting like bigger and bigger, and it does get bigger really fast for like some people.
Right. Card for MBEDC.
Yes.
Card. None of that nonsense. You've had 2 goes tonight. It's not happening. I can't carry a knife for a bloody month.
Yes.
Yeah, he has been warned.
Yes.
Yes, it's sadistic. Exactly, Zen.
Never mind.
That's a yellow card. Next time you're off.
But Mikey, that's the point exactly. I don't think when you get to a certain point like we've got to, you don't count your knives anymore. It's not about the knives you've got. It's about the next one. It's always about the next one.
Yeah.
You know, oh man.
And I tell you what, that for me really came home with when I got into like Sheffield slip joints. That out of all of my sub collections, the Sheffield slip joints have become the most obsessive, the most focused, the most, you know. And that's only been going for just over a year since Sharp Show 23. So,
yeah, I mean, in this last year, or just over a year now, I have got. These are not just Sheffield. The first floor of Sheffield. This is an Ashley Harrison. This is a Stephen Cocker. This one's a Shing. This one's a what do you call him? Andy Brock, Andy Brock, and this one's a self-made knives. So in the space of just over a year, I am investing my bigger money into. When I say bigger money, there's not one of them over £200 that I've spent. So a significant amount of money, but collecting different makers in the UK because we have some amazing custom makers. And I think if we don't buy them and show them, they don't get as much exposure. Because one thing that I've found out this year, or this last 2 years, British custom knife makers are the worst salesmen I have ever known. I don't know whether anybody agrees, but to find them is difficult. You know, if you're not in the know, to find a new one, it's difficult. So I'm trying to buy them and I want to show them on the show. And there's a few others now starting to get into British knife makers. We got to just back these boys. It's dead simple. It's dead simple. And thankfully, our British knife makers are not as expensive as the American knife makers. So they make it easy for us to do it.
Yeah. That's very true.
So, yeah, just get them out and check them. Go back, especially on my channel, find out, because they always put a Union Jack on when I've got a British custom maker. So it's quite easy to pick the videos out.
I've got a point of clarification to make, Mikey. Well, I did have, but I've lost it.
Did you see B's comment?
Yes,
she made a very, very fine point there.
Well, she didn't, because I'm going to pick out 2 errors in this.
Oh, okay.
First of all, you're agreeing with Stephen, which is implying that he's right. Wrong. And the second is that sacks don't count. I'm sorry, but you've just been unsibbed, please. I'm sorry.
I'll bring you back.
But the thing is that you can still keep your sacks because they don't count towards your 12 knives, but you can still have a drawer full of sacks.
Yeah, that's exactly right. If you want to have sacks, I mean, we all like to see.
I see where you're going with this. Actually, Bees, I take it all back.
When we grew up, we often visit toys we had from the past. And that's what men do and women do. As you get older, you want to go back to having toy things. That's what sacks are. They're little toys. But if you want to collect them, absolutely fine. Buy a train track for them. Something else, that you can put them on. But knives are knives. There we go.
Correct, boss.
A sack, yeah, but if we say that they don't count, it means that we don't have to get rid of them.
Yes.
Yes,
we're moving on because we're going to talk about Mikey's favorite episode. Mikey, you had difficulty choosing a favorite episode, and difficulty choosing a favorite episode.
Yeah, that's mainly because my memory's shot, basically, and I just they all just blur into one just great big long songs and laughter, don't they? But my episode that I thought was that had the funniest part was when we set you up, Judd.
Yeah.
Oh
God, that was the best laugh I've had in
when we set him up for the run night. It was a.
Or was this it? No, that wasn't it.
Yeah,
it was this one.
No, that was a nightmare.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, guys. Stop the screen sharing. I'll try the next one. Share the screen. Select Windows screen. Touch screen.
Sorry for the short. Here we go.
Here we go. I'm not sure we're getting any sound, but this was the one where, if nothing else, we will get to the point where I actually start beating my chest. But
that's where we need to start it. Yeah. What am I? Chopped liver, wasn't it? I think.
Yes. Why aren't we getting any sound? Anyway, it's not playing right. But there you go. Here we go. Judge having a rant. You don't even need the words. You don't
need the words. No, just the actions speak louder than words, don't they?
There it is. That's the bit that Mikey loves.
I've got the finger. There's finger action. Look, there's beating the chest.
Oh, it's a full package, mate. I'd like to give.
Do you know what? That was worthy of an Oscar, that, or a BAFTA, or some kind of award.
Any better than what we'd planned it. Judd didn't know he was getting the knife.
Unlike the one that we planned last week that went terribly wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, it was hilarious, that one. That went completely wrong. But this was the knife.
Oh, he's brought it along. Look, just as evidence.
And I mean, this knife is just the best in the world.
And
it was such a good show. This
is my knife as well. These bushcraft knives we got off Ron. That was another great guest. Well, not as a guest, but
a find in terms
of knife. This was Mikey's friend Ron, and Mikey actually bought these for us, which was just amazing, super gift. And this set off on another thing that's happened. I mean, I got back interested in doing a bit of bushcraft.
Yeah.
We're going on camping trips. I'm a 16-year-old codger going to go on a couple of camping trips this year. And I cannot wait. It's given me a space that I haven't had so much.
He hasn't stopped buying bloody camping gear.
I haven't. I bought new tents, everything.
Yeah.
Fire pits, the whole lot I bought. I'm like a schoolboy. But that's the power of friendship in this community.
Yeah.
And the fact of going over to meeting the people that we've met at SHOT Show on another level where we're going to meet them around a campfire, have time to speak to them, sit around and just talk a lot of nonsense. It's so exciting. So exciting.
Very true. Very true. But what was your favorite episode? I mean, the one I teed up here was Michael Harrison. I mean,
yeah, it was because that was the first time I'd actually had a face-to-face with Michael Harrison. Mm-hmm. I'd talked to him so many times. I've had laughs with him. I mean, when I ring up now and talk to them, it's the two of them come into the room and I just get abuse. And it was just to see him face to face and put a face to him. And he's much younger looking than what I thought he was going to be too.
Yeah.
But it just brought that.
Because were we expecting a sort of Stan Shaw kind of thing?
I think that's what you sort of mentally have. This wee man behind with a file on a knife and dungarees, with but it was just it makes that friendship that we built up just on words over a telephone. It just made it real.
Yeah.
And now I know what he looks like. Now I know when I'm talking to him, who I'm talking to. And it really just lifted that whole friendship I built up.
It was fun. But it was such a fun. And it was really well received, that episode, because it was such a fantastic, honest insight into...
What is it, Yorkshire or Lancashire?
South Yorkshire, Sheffield.
Yorkshire.
What you would typical call a Yorkshire man.
Absolutely.
That's what I would call a Yorkshire man, through and through. Hard work, that's it.
Yeah.
Do you know what, though?
Slippy answered Michael's phone in Sheffield.
Oh, yeah. We was... me and Sean and Slippy were actually in the workshop when Stephen called Michael, so Slippy picked up the phone. And at first he thought it was Michael, then he thought it was Ashley.
No, he says, I'm not Michael. I said, hello, Ashley. I'm not Ashley. What the fuck is the other end of the phone? And it was Slippy.
Oh, that was awesome.
My day was completely ruined.
Oh, no. He gets everywhere, that boy.
That's
sorry,
I think as well about the nice part about the Michael Harrison show was the fact for like us, it's Sheffield handmade slip joints, and you get to meet the maker. It's quite a thing. We hold those knives in such high regard, and they are so are a thing that to get to meet the makers and stuff, and then having like customs made and stuff, and that it's just been amazing.
It's been a journey that I have enjoyed every minute of. Yeah, and it's not been a rush journey. It's been just fabulous. Steady along there, and the fact that he's doing this for us is just amazing.
It is just fantastic, really. So I mean, those were our three favorite episodes. Now we're coming up on an hour and 15 minutes.
My goodness.
And
55 people in the audience.
55.
Thank
it was,
you
it
so
was at
much.
57 at one time. And just to give everybody an update, Stephen, we've got 24 orders in.
24 orders in. Yeah, if you're hesitant, just get them in, honestly, because the PayPal boys, you get in first. I'm going to announce it on my channel tomorrow. So if you want one, get in now. And please, don't buy one if you're not so sure. Try and help us. This is our first time and we need definites.
Okay. So there it's up again. As you say, you can always replay this backwards and get it, but hopefully that'll give you an opportunity to get
don't leave just yet, because you have another video specially commissioned for this 100th show.
Okay.
So it's about to be 25 orders, apparently.
There you go.
Good. Great to see people doing. Thank you for the support.
Mark, 24, 20. Well, we're 24 at the minute.
Do you know what I do want to say though is the one sad part that we've had was losing Randy. And he would have absolutely loved to have one of these PPP knives.
Yeah,
he was so into like the Sheffield slip joints. I think at the last count he had about 24, 25, and he couldn't wait for this knife. And it's just a real shame that that he didn't get one.
I mean, I sort of class Randy as a Geordie. I can't understand what he says, but I know I like him. Randy just, and even in his passing, he has been able to make us smile, come together, and be more friends, and just appreciate a human being. that doesn't come with a lot of hobbies.
Elan said exactly the same thing to me, that Randy is still keeping us doing what we do, and we still quote him and we still use his memes, and he's probably brought us even closer to together now, which is pretty rare for any human to like do that.
And I'm going to be really honest, and I don't mean this as a slur to anywhere else in the world, but the boys in the UK really, really stepped up for our collection for him. It was an amazingly healthy amount of money went to his mother, and it brought me so much joy that it was a crowd that was all involved.
Yeah.
And I mean, the likes of Elan, yourself, Slippy, that put so much effort into it. I want to thank everybody who put any effort into it whatsoever, and thank everybody who put money in it, because I felt pride in being the knife community in the UK.
Absolutely.
And I know there was lots of Americans put in, and I really appreciate. I didn't mean. I'm just talking about us as our home nation.
But even as the extended community, it was just an amazing response.
Amazing. And I know his mother was completely blown away.
It's funny because there's a documentary on about a kid who was a gamer in Sweden, and he'd been very ill and had been sort of lived at home and everything, and his only outlet, he had no friends or whatever else because he couldn't leave the house, and his only outlet was gaming, and when he died, the whole community came together to tell his family how much he meant to them in the community. I thought that this was just something that happened rarely, but so to see it happening in our own community was just something remarkable. It really was.
It was.
And I've got to put a big thank you out to Slippy and TK, all the organising that they did, all the stuff that they've done for it. And then, from the crowdfunder to the coins to the knife raffle to slips that were being made. And so a big thank you to Griff as well, because Griff made us slips and that. Everybody that had anything to do with it, who put in money, it was just awesome. Really, really was amazing.
Thrifty, I wasn't putting that down at all, because there was plenty in the US that put money in as well. I was just talking as our wee group. It was a very close-knit wee group that really took Randy's death as if he was one of our own. And there's not many people get into that sort of sphere, apart from you, John. You're in it up to your neck. But I mean, it's lovely to just feel that pride. And it
was a good moment.
It was lovely.
And I suppose, lads, if you're ready, I think we'll draw this to a close, and we'll use that as a nice little segue into really what qualifies as our thank you to everybody out there.
Yeah, and I really do thank you for 100 flipping shows. And we've had people from the start, and they've followed us every week. To them, hats off. You've got some guts.
So
I mean, they are brave lads and lassies. They really are, because they keep coming back, and we still don't know what we're doing. We haven't got a clue.
We really don't know what we're doing.
Winging it.
Tell everybody about the show. Your friends, your bit on the side, everybody, get them all coming on. And we're now going to go to this amazing finish, Slippy and
well, let's not over egg it a wee bit, okay? To prove that
Slippy and Thrifty.
Don't do that. This is an homage to the new management.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry. Love you.
Love you.
Yeah, Slippy and Thrifty.
Take care, everybody.
They're amazing bosses.
See you next week.
Yeah.